What's up, everybody? This is Markus, your MTT coach of the Academy of Poker, and we have another short explanatory video today. Topic for the day, as you can already see, how to play tight opponents. We had the video about how to play really aggressive opponents, so I thought, yeah, let's make it the other way around and go for the tight opponents. As always, before we jump into it, make sure to leave comments, give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more of our videos so you will not miss out on them. Also, if you want, make sure to check out all our other social media, follow us there to not miss out on any updates or any news around the poker world. Hi guys, my name is Marcus. I'm an MTT coach of the Academy of Poker, and we have a great offer for you. Our current Academy of Poker course will only cost you 200 euros, but if you do it the right way, you can even get it for free. All you have to do is hit the link in the description below, get in contact with our managers, and you can start right away. And now, enjoy the upcoming video. But let's jump into it. So a little explanation first of all about the players, what is considered a tight opponent. So they definitely bet less often. You will see more likely calls from them and checks and calls instead of bets and raises. They have a high tendency on missing out on value bets. Just last week I had such a sick way. Somebody flopped top set kings, and the river brought only a gut shot in, nothing else, and he checked behind. It was like a king 7-6 4-4-5 board, and I was a middle position and he opened in UTG, so that was pretty. I had like king queen suited, I think, and I lost the minimum, and I was like so surprised. Actually, he was in position, so I was in middle position, and he just called in the cutoff instead of three betting. And yeah, he woke up with kings in the end, and I checked, and he checked behind on the river because I thought I could let him bluff. I would have snapped him off in pretty much any bet size here. But yeah, he checked behind kings and even said like, yeah, I was afraid you hit the straight. I was like, wow, uh, that's huge. And yeah, that's just the perfect example of a really, really tight opponent. They miss out on a lot of value bets. And as I said, they are afraid of stronger hands, even if they're holding a strong hand themselves. So that was just the example for that. He had a top set kings and was only losing to a straight. And considering the ranges, I could have had the pocket sixes in that case, but it's just so unlikely. And just because of this small combination of hands where he's losing to, missing out on all the other good hands that will still call, it's a really big problem. And let me tell you now how to play versus them. And of course, pretty easy set, but sometimes bit hard maybe. Be really aggressive versus them. So they will only show aggression when they are really, really strong. So in that case, most likely only if you had like 10-6 or 9-6 for the nuts. Yeah, 8-7, 5-4 if you had 9-6. So that would be the only way he would bet. But other than that, as you see, he even checks back top set kings, which is the fourth nuts, pretty much, or third nuts after any straight with the six. So yeah, which is pretty insane here. And again, so they will only be showing aggression, will only go for raises if they have a really, really strong hand, most likely at least like trips, two pair combinations on really dry boards sometimes, but then straights, flushes, and so on and so forth. So that's your chance to show the aggression, and they will give up so often. For example, they give up like weak-ish hands. So when they have like like not that good draws, for example, they have bottom pairs. I mean, I just listed it. So as you see, bottom pairs or under pairs to the board, maybe sometimes even the middle pair with a weak kicker, and then stuff like gut shots and backdoor flush draws. So when you, for example, sit in the big blind and the flop comes with two spades and you have at least the ace of spades, even though you did not hit, you just have ace high, but you have the ace of spades, so you have the backdoor nut flush draw, which at least gives you some equity, and you will float quite often there, maybe even add like some backdoor straights there. So you know that you can realize the equity in some way on the turn and river, and they will often enough just fold it and don't even consider those things. And in those cases, it's your chance to c-bet even more, because if you think about, they fold those hands that normally a lot of people will call because of the backdoor equity they have. You can just c-bet even more versus those players. And last but not least, you have a few more things. So what they do, slow play, they slow play premiums more often, so you have to be careful about that. As I said, he just flatted kings in the cutoff versus my middle position opening when we were really deep, so the average was still like 50, 60 big blinds. It was pretty early stage of the tournament, and he just slow played that, and which normally should not, it's not a good thing, because especially in early and middle stage, you want to get as much value out of those hands as possible. And if you don't even three bet kings in that spot, or if he just does it like 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 times, he's missing out on so much value. But you have to keep that in mind that a lot of times tight players tend to just call aces, kings, queens, or ace, king, ace, queen, even in the big blind. So at least have that in mind when you think about it. If you have a clear value bet with like a middle pair, you think, or you should bluff them off, that they will have those hands in their range as well, a short, like small percentage of the time. Also, what you can do is to just use bigger sizings for them. So they will have a bad price or just have a bad feeling of you having a strong hand, because that can also help if they think, okay, like if they have a tight mindset as well, or if they go into every hand with a tight range, and thinking of, okay, not really sure what to do, and somebody bets big, then they're more likely to fold their hands than when you bet really small, because then think, why should you bet so small? Maybe it's not that strong. Of course, you could also think, hi, he wants to keep me in the pot, but I'm just gonna fold now. But in a lot of the cases, bigger bets are more frightening to those players. Also, bluffs on the river, for example, busted draws. When you don't have the busted draws, but you just had maybe some open ender or gut shot or so, or you just block some really good hands and the opponent just check called twice. There's a decent percentage of possibility that the opponent had a draw, so you can get him off the hand a lot of times. Of course, be a bit careful here as well. As said, they also slow play like top pairs and stuff. So if they like snap call the second bet, be careful. And then as said, you should have some good blockers, maybe at least like a high flush blocker. So you have the ace of clubs with like 3 clubs on the board, so it's not possible for him to have the nut flush. Or you block like some combinations that he would call. Let's say he's in a late position and the flop is queen high. In general, he will just have like king queen, queen jack, queen 10, queen 9 suited, maybe queen 8 suited. So if you have then ace jack, ace 10, or something like that, you already block at least some part of the combinations he can have. In that case, it would make a bit more sense to bluff versus a tight player. And last but not least, of course, always remember to make notes on those opponents, because sooner or later you will be at the same table with them again, and then you have an autoplay versus them when for example, you're blind versus blind, and normally you don't know the person on your left, but then you have the note, it's like, oh, he's tight AF, so he's folding so many hands, so I can just raise the S out of him from the small blind here. Uh, Also, of course, for other positions as well, give notes when they're always slow play premium hands, give notes when they fold to so many rivers a lot of times, when bluffs when draws don't get there, and stuff like that. That will only help you in the long run to outplay those players and make yourself more chips. This is going to be it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to, as always, leave the subscription, leave a like. If you have any questions, fire comments in the comment section. More than happy to answer those. And to end it all, as always, have a good day, guys. Good luck at the tables, and we'll see each other in the next video. Bye.